Alright, in this chapter we were discussing about hormones. In our previous lesson I told you that hormones are chemicals which are released by glands. They are transported through blood towards their respective target organ or target organs, and once their function is being performed they would be destroyed in liver. In today's lesson we have to talk about a certain hormone called adrenaline. It's released in response to a stressful, exciting, dangerous or threatening situation. This hormone, because it is released in emergency situation, is also labeled as fight or flight hormone because it is released when you are in these modes, whether you have to fight or you have to run or in any stressful condition. This hormone would prepare your body for that particular situation. The location of the glands which are responsible for release of adrenaline is shown in this animation, where you can see that each kidney has adrenal glands. You have read about them in chapter of excretion as well. They are located just above the kidneys. The red ones you can see here, these are the adrenal glands responsible for the release of adrenaline. When you are frightened, excited, your brain sends nerve impulses or electrical impulses along the nerve fibers towards your adrenal glands. This would make them secrete adrenaline into the bloodstream. If you can see the structure of adrenal glands, you can see they are having two portions. The outer one is known as adrenal cortex, while the inner one is known as adrenal medulla. This gland, like I told you before, is located just above the kidneys. Let's see the function of this hormone. The first function is the conversion of glycogen to glucose, just like glucagon. But there glucagon was just regulating the blood glucose levels, while adrenaline is giving you additional amount of glucose so that you can respire more aerobically and produce more ATP. That's what we need when we are in emergency situations. Once the adrenal glands are stimulated, the hormone is released into the bloodstream, as you can see in this diagram. The target organs are liver and muscles, where glycogen is stored. This glycogen will be converted to glucose, which would be released into the bloodstream, increasing the amount of glucose, hence increasing the rate of aerobic respiration, and more ATP would be released, more energy would be produced. The second effect is on the respiratory system, where this hormone is responsible for dilation of bronchioles, which would definitely increase the breathing rate. The third effect is on the cardiovascular system, where it has effects on the heart, on the blood pressure, and also on the blood vessels. On heart, it increases the heart rate. Whenever adrenaline is released, it would increase the heart rate. The blood pressure, which is actually the measure of the force which is applied by the blood on the walls of the blood vessels, this is the blood pressure, it will increase under the influence of adrenaline. Effect on blood vessels. We have read that blood vessels can either dilate or constrict. Adrenaline does both, depending upon where the blood supply is going. If we are talking about skin and digestive system, the blood vessels supplying blood to these organs will constrict, decreasing the flow of blood towards these organs. On the other hand, if I'm talking about brain and skeleton muscles, they would require more blood flow since their energy demand increases. And you know that the blood is carrying the essential raw material for respiration, that is glucose and oxygen, which is required by all the actively working cells. So brain and skeletal muscle need to have more blood flow so that they can receive more glucose and oxygen, so they can respire more and produce more energy. So vasoconstriction would happen in those vessels which are giving the blood or pumping the blood towards skin and digestive system, while vasodilation will happen in those arteries or arterioles which are supplying blood towards brain and skeletal muscles. Since adrenaline is decreasing the blood flow towards the digestive system, it will automatically slow down the process of digestion. The whole process of digestion will decrease. The gut motility, which is known as peristaltic movements, will also slow down. The process of digestion and absorption will also decrease since the blood flow towards this digestive system has been decreased. The effect on pupil is very simple. Since in emergency situation we need to have a focused image, we need to have a very sharp clear image to be produced, so pupil dilation will happen, which would cause more focused image to be formed on the retina. The last function that we have to discuss is the formation of goose pimples. This happens when the hair erector muscles contract, raising the hairs and also causing the small bumps on the skin that we call as goose pimples. This also happens, or you can say it's a characteristic of adrenaline that whenever it would be released, it may cause the formation of goose pimples.